Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss the educational article Food and Wine wrote about allocated whiskey. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool, Luke Otero, and Jeff Andrezzi.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about this article about allocated whiskey and weigh in with our thoughts on what they wrote. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Jeff said there's something that was just pressing. He needed to talk to the group about. What is that, sir?
Yeah, this is important stuff. So if your job gave you a surprise 3-day fully paid break to rest and recuperate, what would you do with those 3 days?
Okay. 3 days.
Go to the beach.
Oh, perfect. Me too, Kathy.
Yeah.
I'd go to the beach.
I
I don't
mean,
need to go to
in the
some
ocean.
exotic place. Just send me down to Florida and I'll take 3 days and chill. I'll have fun.
I need sun, sand, and ocean.
Yeah, me too.
So, salt water. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Kathy and I are on the same page. What about you other? Over here.
For me, Jeff, I'd go to a resort that has a spa and a golf course
Okay.
and do a little bit of everything: eat, drink, and play and relax. Yeah.
Where at? Where are you thinking? Like Festus, Missouri, or?
Maybe the Venetian in Scottsdale.
Okay, that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
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 The
We
War
actually
Department's going to like that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we were there this past spring. Yeah, so
I hope it's not in the summer,
Summer.
because
Well,
the summer
there
in
was no- there was
Scottsdale
no
is
time. He didn't say when, Kathy.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
It's true.
McNew, how about you? This is interesting, McNew. Not exactly the world traveler here.
I'm not. So 3 days doesn't feel like enough time to fly somewhere. That just feels
Okay.
inconvenient. So I would probably drive up to the dunes, rent a house on the dunes, and hang out for a couple days because Lake
Doesn't
Michigan
even
is
leave Indiana. Yeah.
Indiana.
Just stays.
not leaving. But I might hop over to Chicago and do some things
Whoa.
there. Yeah, I would just
Wow.
go do that.
That's insane. Okay.
It's hard to leave the dogs.
But they're going to pay for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
that was, I didn't mention that's thrown in at boarding.
Oh yeah, that's a
Boarding.
bonus.
Or
take
we'd
care of
probably
the-
try to get like an Airbnb that allowed pets and at least take one of them with us. But
Oh, of course.
Oakley.
yeah, Oakley. No, he
Yeah.
he stays with my mom when we leave, and I think he prefers it. Like he gets mad when I come back home.
What
Now
about Milo? Would Milo go?
he got put down Monday?
No.
Oh,
No, you've been saying that forever, like he's going
He's
next
fine.
week, and then I kept checking in. It finally happened.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Oh, she's not.
No? Okay.
This was not my dog. It
Well,
was.
just send out a note to us when the services are. I know we'd all like to be there, so we'll just let us know.
I'll make the
We'll
trip.
travel in. We'll
I
travel
would
in.
love to hear what the pet psychic hears from Milo from the other side. Or is that a pet seance?
Get like a little pet Ouija board and be like, Milo.
Milo checks in from the other side. Milo crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So there you go. Yeah.
Milo would be like, that bitch.
Not my fault. Your mom abandoned you here and I was stuck with you for 7 years. I mean, I didn't choose this either, friend.
Oh. Milo. Damn, Milo. Huh. All right, Jeff, you asked the question.
Yeah,
He's
so I'm
going
doing
to South Dakota.
I'm doing the
Yeah.
opposite of
Spalding.
McNew. I'm not going to Chicago. I'm getting someplace either by myself 100%.
Okay.
There's gonna be some whiskey with me. There's gonna be some cigars, and I may be taking a book or two. I really am gonna shut it down and relax. The phone's shutting off.
Turn off the tech, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even like you just like use your phone for maps and then leave it in the car. You don't even need it where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. The other option though is somewhat related. I'm gonna do a 1-person fly-in fishing trip to a lake with the one cabin on it, so I know I'm the only one there.
Okay.
So I just need to get away. Now, if the artist wants to go with, I'm letting the artist go with. We'll go.
Artist gets to go with.
Yep. I can do this, but I need to get away from everybody else.
What about me? What if I was like, Jeff, I heard your phone rings and you're like, I heard you got this thing, and I'd like to go with you. I'd like to be part of this thing.
Okay, you're one I can hang out with.
Okay.
So there's a difference between all the other drama. I
Right.
haven't been around any drama with you. So Steve,
Okay.
You're
that's good.
Yeah, I
I'm
won't
in.
even flip a coin. You're in.
Yeah. If McNew would go, she needs a handler. That's the problem with McNew.
I don't need a handler. If you take me to a lake and give me a fishing pole and some whiskey, I'll probably be well behaved for the most part. But if you take me to a city,
Sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
We're just gonna
Jeff
take-
and McNew fly to a lake where there's one cabin and 6
God.
bottles of whiskey
Oh
Yes.
my God!
and a
And traffic cones.
Sasquatch or a
How are you with
serial
outhouses,
killer.
McNew? Oh, God.
how am I with what?
Outhouses.
Oh, I mean, I don't love that. I mean, hopefully, like, if it's only 3 days, I think I can not poop for 3 days and I'll just fine. I'll be fine.
I know McNew doesn't have a problem going to #1 outside because I've seen her do it in front of a whole busload of people one time. So
Yes.
yeah. Not a care in the
Outside
world.
of a
Not a
boat?
care. She steps off the bus, walks 30 feet, and everybody can still see her. They're like, there she is. She's right there. Everybody's worried. Is she going to be okay? She's wandering off. I'm like, oh, there she is. And there, down go the panties and squats and right there on someone's basement window too. There's a house, one of the elevator houses where like they had the basement window. There's someone urinating. They're probably downstairs. It's like movie night, kids. Let's go downstairs and watch a movie. And there's McNew pissing on their basement window.
That's what you get for living in Key West. They've seen it all. Honestly.
It's their fault.
If the artist was with, McNew could maybe come with, but I think I'd have to come back and beg for some more days. I think that's going to be the result. So the artist would not let you and I go together because she's seen your 4th of July pictures. So.
Bring
Oh,
it
yeah.
with- I'll bring that same one for the lake.
We had someone get banned from this network because of the 4th of July photo. So
And
yeah,
I don't understand it, but it's
Yeah.
what it's
it
fine.
happened. It
feel like
happened.
I think he lives in Iowa.
He does. He does. Yeah, it's too bad. I like that guy. But yeah, he can't do stuff with us anymore. So well,
One photo.
it's sad. It's sad because of a photo. So there you go. On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Luke this time. I don't think he's kicked this thing off yet. What do you got there?
I think we're talking about allocated bourbons, correct?
Sure.
The article. So I've got a Pappy 20.
Whoa!
Oh,
Wow.
Fly it on the set.
Okay. We heard it. It wasn't that great, but man, that was a baller move though, bringing up the
Baller.
Pappy 20. I think that's the first Pappy 20 we've cork popped on the show, so that's pretty cool. I've
you
got.
know me, Steve. I share. I drink them. I don't.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah, you do. Leopold 8 is what I've got here, finished in 3-chamber rye. This is allocated for us. They won't sell us as much as we want, so for us, this is allocated. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay.
Boom.
I think that's enough to take the lead, but I think it's going to be beat. We'll see. Kathy's going next, so we'll see what she does.
Well, I would hate for Darren to be on and be like, "You're not going to pull out an allocated." So I'm going to grab my E.H. Taylor.
There you go.
Okay.
It's halfway gone. I don't expect anything.
No,
Like,
all I heard was a
nothing.
desk knock there.
Desk.
Yeah, death knock.
Yeah, desk knock does not count. I have the lead. McNew's next.
I did not bring anything allocated, but I have a Yellowstone American single malt, which I'm excited.
Okay. Oh, that's the lead.
That was
That's solid.
That's a nice one.
That was solid. So
That's a
McNew
good one.
now has the lead, but Jeff still has to go, so he might steal this thing. We'll see.
All right, so I don't
Like
have-
Family Feud. He's
I have-
going for the steal.
I have one allocated whiskey, I think, in my collection, and it's still in the box. I got some Blantons. I'm not opening it tonight. It's going to be
Whoa.
gifted, I think. Yeah. But I am going to open a bottle that I was introduced at the most recent, our flagship whiskey series. So I've got some Mammoth,
Oh yeah, Mammoth.
their limited release Northern Rye, number 2. So we got to sample some of this, and before the show was over, I had ordered some.
Okay, solid, but second place. Second
Yeah,
place.
that's-
Yeah, McNew won that one.
When was the
pretty
last time
quick.
you won, McNew?
What?
Yeah,
Way to
McNew
go,
belonged to-
Jeff.
McNew.
Cheers to McNew.
Cheers,
All right.
gang.
We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about this article on allocated whiskey. Was it a good one? We'll talk about that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about a food and wine article talking about allocated whiskey.
Yes, we are. It would seem like food and wine people should understand this topic. Seems like their writers should be focused on that kind of stuff. Kathy, kind of summarize the article for us as we talk about this with the audience.
some whiskeys are hard to find, therefore they are allocated.
Yeah, that could have been a one-sentence article, right?
I mean, it's a nice way of being educational to people that I don't know who they're.
I don't know either.
They did list actual allocated whiskeys. They
Right.
didn't screw that up. So
I think you have to take your audience into consideration when you're a writer. Like when we make our movies, you see all the other movies that are dedicated to bourbon. They always have to start out just like every tour has to tell you the rules of bourbon and all that stuff. When we make a movie, we don't go into all that because we assume that if you're willing to watch a bourbon movie, you don't need to be introduced to the concept of bourbon. If you're a food and wine reader, I would assume you're savvy enough, you're involved in the industry enough to kind of understand the basics of if it's desirable, people are buying it, that it's going to be harder to get. That is allocated. But what's the reason for that? Is it, is it marketing? Is it production was lower than expected? Is it they're, playing some games because they want it to appear to be tough to get that creates demand? What's going on? That's what I was looking for in that article. None of that kind of stuff was answered.
Well, the person in the second paragraph that they quote is the bon vivant concierge at Heirloom Kitchen at the St. Laurent in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Okay.
So he's obviously on the food side of food and wine. So maybe he's educating the foodies what an allocated bourbon is.
That's the way I took it. I don't think anyone who's into the bourbon industry as much as your audience, Steve, and the folks who are on this podcast, Food and Wine Magazine is you're looking for the next great recipe. Oh, by the way, there's an allocated bourbon article, and I think it was a second thought. It wasn't half bad, but it wasn't the best.
Right.
Yeah, so I think they did not write this for bourbon fans because it was not a bad article. It was factual, which is more than we get from a lot of other articles.
That's true. That's true. We've seen stuff that's just totally wrong in these articles.
It was one of those things where it's like, tell me it like I'm in kindergarten. Talk to me like I'm 5.
There you go.
That's what it was. But if I'm a wino or a foodie, like great. Now I know a little bit about bourbon. Like, so I enjoy wine. I don't know enough about it. I would like that article if it were about wine. I'd be like, oh, I learned something today. But I didn't learn about it because I know bourbon. So it's like, like I look at that perspective, wasn't a terrible article for once.
But I find myself clicking every time there's a bourbon article or a whiskey article.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like 95% of them are like, oh God, why did I fall for it again?
Why read it?
Yeah.
I stopped clicking because
I have to learn that. I have to
Luke,
learn
you're
that.
always the smart one on these things.
Yeah.
Really
I tell
are.
you, another offshoot of following the bourbon news all the time, because that's what I do. I go on Google and I Google bourbon, and then I hit news and see what's out there. The number of people that get shot on Bourbon Street, if you do what I just said, it'll startle you. It's a lot. If you go 5 pages deep, you probably got 2 people that got shot on Bourbon Street at any given day when you're checking out the bourbon news.
I feel like if you want good bourbon news, you need to sign up for Steve's like Friday quick bourbon notes. Those are my favorite. I look forward to Friday mornings. I'm like, oh, it's in my inbox by the time I get into work. I'm excited about that.
I know. I'm really excited about Knob Creek's bourbon and rye bottle coming out.
I haven't seen that one out yet, but Neater's had it, so it's out there. I don't.
Oh man, I was looking for it today.
Yeah.
Came home with a damn pig.
No, so Jackie Kimbrell just did a great article about Jackie, and I think you gotta like.
Maggie's a great writer. I like her.
Bourbon person, it's going to be a legit article. But if it's like a food magazine, I'm like, I probably already know whatever they're saying, and they probably got part of it wrong. So
yeah. I do that. I go to Mike Veach. I go to
Mike Veach.
Go to Steve Akeley. I go to Maggie Kimbrell. Because we know those folks and what they're writing is real.
Right. Yeah. I do find myself reading a lot of Maggie's stuff because it's good. She had a great article on Todd Leopold not that long ago. Yeah. And it's like researched out. It's interviewing the actual people that are featured. It's It's knowledgeable. It's not dumbed down. It's just speaking to bourbon fans. Written by, well, guess what? A bourbon fan. So, yeah, It makes sense. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll give this one a pass. It's a passing grade. But really, for us, it doesn't provide any value. There's no value to us to read that article. It doesn't.
Maybe they had an advertiser fall out and they needed to fill the space.
But as far as like, they did better than Forbes could dream of doing. So maybe
God.
Forbes take some notes.
Yeah.
I did keep a copy of it because I'm going to give it to my son-in-law because he's a chaser. He's a bit of a hunter, and I've tried to explain it to him, and I maybe don't do a great job, but read this. It'll give you a little more.
You know, you need to do with him is a blind tasting.
Oh yeah, that's
Craft against an allocation. Put that Blanton's on the table next to
right.
2 crafts and tell him to pick out the allocated bourbon.
Yeah.
No doubt. No, that's in the works. So
yeah, it's weird because I just think there's a better way, and I think there's better whiskey that can be found out there without breaking the bank like you do with that allocated stuff. I mean, your time and your money ends up going to things that end up not being as good as what you can find out there for much less, which is readily available. So fun stuff. All right, well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Jeff, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Cigar Dojo, Jeff Endrizi, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
All right, Luke.
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Luke Otero, and then also on Instagram, Luke Otero at Santa Fe Boutique Wines.
All right. TikTok anytime soon, Luke?
Never.
Me either. I can't do it. I have no interest in that thing. I see a lot of people on there and stuff talking about it. I don't know. It's not my thing.
I think everyone knows I am not the social media guy at all. So
Right. All right, Kathy, how about you?
You can find me on Instagram at KKCastStrength.
McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, that place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Check out our classes and events page. You might see something that interests you. We've always got some cool stuff going on. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.